Today we will look into distributive property. We will distribute and simplify by combining like terms. When there is an expression with parentheses and a number next to it, it means that there is a multiplication between the number and the parenthesis. And we are going to apply that multiplication and the number to every separate term that's inside the parenthesis. Terms in here are negative 7x and 3y. We will distribute the 4 to both negative 7x and 3y. I will multiply 4 by negative 7x and I will multiply 4 by 3y. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28, and x is also in multiplication, so we will leave it as negative 28x. 4 times 3 is 12, and this was also positive, so I have 12y. And our operation was addition. Sometimes we would have to distribute a negative number. We will again take the number that's outside and we will multiply that number with every term that's inside of the parenthesis. Distribute to negative 2. And when distributing a negative, we will have to consider the signs of each term that's inside the parenthesis. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction signs, and if I look at this term, this is a positive 4m, and this is positive 9n. And I know it's positive because there's a plus sign in front. If I multiply negative 2 with positive 4m, negative times positive is going to be negative. 2 times 4 is 8, and m will be the variable next to 8. Our next term is 9n. Negative 2 times positive 9n. Negative times positive is negative, and 2 times 9 is 18, and n is the variable. Now we will have the addition sign back here. Adding a negative is same as subtraction, so our answer still is going to be negative 8m minus 18n. Let me repeat that part. We have the addition sign copied down, and adding a negative is subtraction, so my final answer would look like negative 8m minus 18n. Sometimes instead of distributing a number, we might have to distribute just a negative 1. In this example, we have a negative in front of the parenthesis, and this means there is a secret 1 that needs to be multiplied. And we will distribute that negative 1 to every term that's inside the parenthesis. I will not distribute that to 7p because that's at the outside of the parenthesis. Negative 1 times positive 4p. Negative times positive is negative. 1 times 4p is 4p. Negative times positive is negative, and 1 times 3q is 3q, plus 7p. Adding a negative is subtraction, so this is my addition sign right here. Negative 4p minus 3q plus 7p is my final answer. Here's our next example. We have some expressions that are outside of the parentheses, some are inside, and there's a distributive property as well. When I see a number against the parenthesis, I know that needs to be multiplied with every term that's inside of the parenthesis. Let's take care of the grouping symbol, which will be distribution first, and then we will do other operations. I'll copy everything else same, 3x minus 5y, and I'm distributing a positive 4. Positive 4 times x is positive 4x. Adding a positive is still addition, so I keep my addition sign. Positive 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Here's my negative 12 and 4 times 3y is negative 12y. Adding a negative is same as writing subtraction, so from now on I'm just going to use my subtraction sign after I find that the term has to be negative. Let's look at our next example. This time we need to distribute a negative number. Actually, let me go back to the last question. There is more we can do here. We have 3x minus 5y plus 4x minus 12y. We have x's and y's, and x's can be added together among each other, and y's can be added among each other. 3 apples, 4 more apples makes 7 apples. Same concept. We have 3x, 4 more x, together that will make 7x. Negative 5y, negative 12 more y's, it will make negative 17y. This would be our final answer. We won't be able to add x's with y's together, because imagine that's x's for xylophones and y's for yo-yos. We won't be able to add xylophones with yo-yos. We will only add yo-yos with other yo-yos. So this is called combining like terms. We would only combine the expressions, the terms, with the same variable types. X's will combine with x's. Y's will combine with y's. X squared will combine with x squareds. Here's our next example. Now, on this one we have to distribute a negative 5. I will copy the other expression, same, other terms same. Negative 5 times positive 2y is negative 10y. Adding a negative is subtraction, so there's my subtraction sign. Our negative term automatically turns into a subtraction sign. Negative 5 times negative x, negative times negative is positive, so here's my positive 5x. Adding a positive is addition. Now let's check to see if we have any like terms here. I have x's like terms and I have y's as like terms. 7 xylophones and 5 more xylophones, you have 12 xylophones. Negative 4 yo-yos, negative 10 more yo-yos, you end up with negative 14 yo-yos. Negative and yo-yos doesn't make sense. Let's say that you owe 14 yo-yos. That's how we would express a negative. Here's our next example. This looks pretty complicated, but it's just a combination of the two distribution steps. And instead of distributing a number or just a sign, a negative sign, this time we are distributing a number and a variable. So we will take 3x and we will distribute that to inside of the parenthesis. Likewise, we will take 8x and distribute that to inside of the parenthesis. 3x times 5x, 3 times 5 is 15. X times x is x squared. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. X times y is xy. 8 times 6 is 48. X times x is x squared. As you can see, I'm multiplying the numbers first and then taking care of the variables. Positive 8 times positive 3 is positive 24. X times y is xy. Adding a positive is addition, so I keep my addition sign. Adding a negative is subtraction, so I keep my subtraction sign. Now let's check to see if there are any like terms. X squared and x squared are like terms. Xy and xy are like terms. Like terms must have exact type of variables. 48 and 15, I can add them together. That would be 63x squared. Positive 24xy, negative 6xy, that would be positive 18xy. Although these two have a common x, they don't have exactly matching variable sets. So these are not considered like terms, and I cannot combine them any further. Here is another different style of question. On these type of questions, because the entire numerator is being divided by 2 and the numerator has 3 different terms, we can assign each term with the division operation. And when I assign it, I will take the sign in front of the term as well. So I have a positive 12 divided by 2, that's going to be 6x. I have a negative 8y divided by 2, that's going to be negative 4y. We're just dividing the numbers. A positive 4 divided by 2 is positive 2. That's pretty much it for that example. Let's look at the last one here. On this example, we are going to again assign each term with the denominator, and we will do our division. Positive 36 divided by negative 6 is negative 6 x squared. Positive 24 divided by negative is negative 4xy. Negative 18 divided by negative 6, negative divided by negative is positive. 18 divided by 6 is 3y squared. And this would be our final answer. We will continue with a couple more vocabulary with the next video.